I'm Bob Troha, class of 1960. Since I graduated, I attended Ohio University, degree in engineering. I've been married 55 years.
My name is Paul Antonelli, graduated in 1970, married for 40 years to Patricia, have 3 sons, Paul, David, and Michael, and we run a little business that deals with helping individuals who are in wheelchairs navigate their home environment. Pleasure to be here, and it was a great experience being part of the Benedictine community.
Okay, Frank Bohaj, class of 60. I now live with my wife Marie in Lakewood, Ohio. Was a baker with Giant Eagle for 35 years. Retired, started a lawn maintenance business, which I sold a couple years ago. I wound up with 20 employees, 10 trucks. So now I'm sort of relaxing. Go to Hilton Head 3 times a year. We love it. 40 years going there. I have 2 sons. One's an attorney, lives in Bay Village. My other son lives in Lakewood, where we live. And I have 2 grandsons and 1 granddaughter. That's about it.
This is what?
My name is Paul Antonelli, graduated in 70.
70. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for letting me.
Yeah, okay. Anybody else? That's it. What?
Yeah, we have a couple movies.
Where? Oh,
Frank Bohaj, class of 60.
I've been looking for you.
Well, you haven't been around. How are
You
you?
didn't get your name tag.
Well, okay. Well, I didn't see one, so.
I was walking in here and said, no, where's Frank? I don't know.
Anybody else know?
Okay, thanks for coming.
No, I enjoyed it.
God almighty, from 60. Okay, we got that done. All right, guest speakers, we're going to have Dr. Frank Basu, first of all, from President of Benedictine. He'll speak. And after that, Brian Lacey of the Alumni Relations will go after. Okay?
Bob, are you going to speak, Bob?
When I get going, you'll never...
I was going to say,
I just want to know that you're speaking.
just don't ask, okay?
I think that
Go to the restroom, that's smart, take the break.
All right, I'm going to sit down.
All right, good morning. Thank you, Bob, for organizing this as always. It's great to be with this community, and I just have 4 things. Number one, so a little bit about what's going on. Number one, proud. Graduated 81 seniors this past year. A really fine group of young men. Valedictorians going to Walsh University, salutatorium's going to Ohio State, and our Mr. Benedictine is going to West Point. All right.
Wow.
Still a lot of kids local, Cleveland State, and within the Northeast area, our Northeast Cleveland area, but a good group of guys. I'm really proud to have met a lot of these guys as freshmen when I was football coach and see how they matured over the years. So good start there. They're moving out. In terms of going forward, the word I use is excited. I'm excited for next year. 2 reasons. Number one is leadership. We have a new principal and a new second in command. I'll start with the second in command, Dale Jacobs, who is a grad, 68, 69, 69 I think. Yeah, 69, grad. Sent 2 sons to Benedictine. Came out of 40 years of education, primarily in the counseling area, leadership positions, and the last 23 years were in the mentor school system, one of the best school systems in Ohio. He came in with us 2 years ago in the counseling department. I literally had been talking to him, walking him to his car in the parking lot. I said, "You want to come back and help us?" He said, "Yes." And he's been a wonderful asset in terms of the counseling department for the last 2 years, getting more and more responsibility, even though he's part-time. He's accepted the position to be second in command, and he's going to go full-time for us. So Dale Jacob, hope you get a chance to meet him at one of our events. Fine man. Ryan Risner, class of 95. I taught with him when I started teaching in 2005. He's been active in the alumni area, and he's a fine young man. And what I would say about Ryan is that he delivers what he promises. And it's been exciting and helpful for me to be working with him over the last couple of months. He officially doesn't start until July 1st, but he's been like working like a dog for the last 2 months, getting ready for next year in terms of hiring people, getting curriculum together and things like that. So it's been really positive. So again, 2 fine young men, Benedictine, experience in education, and the right type of people to move us to that next level in terms of the school program. So very exciting about that. Number 2 in that area, I use the word innovation, so leadership and innovation. We're adding media to our college ready career bound. If you recall, that's the program where we're bringing professionals into the learning environment. We have engineering, entrepreneurship, medicine, and now media. Entrepreneurs, just a comment, you guys saw the newsletter on that, okay? The bottom line is that those are the 4 core areas that we have. We'll have basically freshmen through juniors now involved with the first 3 programs, and we'll bring freshmen and sophomores into the media program. Mr. Francioli's been doing a nice job getting that program ready to go. In fact, I think he's either coming back or still down at Ohio U, where he received a grant, one of only several people in the state of Ohio, to help him put together a course that will give the sophomores around introduction to media and communications, so a relationship there that's been really powerful. So that's what's going on there. The last part is simply thank you for coming. It always gives me lots of energy when I get together with the Benedictine community. I've had the pleasure of Mr. Benedictine the other night, reunion last night, and we'll have a reunion mass tomorrow. All those things give me energy to keep going after our mission, and so thank you for coming, and I'm glad you guys are getting together, and we'll keep doing that. So, and thank you, Bob, for doing it. Any questions? Any questions? If not, I'll be over here ready to talk to you. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Frank. Okay, Brian Lacey, our alumni relation person. He is going to give us a little speech.
Thank you all for being here, and thanks for having me. Thanks for allowing me, some time to talk. I'm not going to keep you guys too long. I don't have a whole lot to say, but I do want to piggyback off of some of the things that Doc spoke about. The first is just about the events that we've had this past weekend in reunion mass that we're going to have tomorrow. So Mr. Benedictine dinner, Billy Bolke, he's class of 2019. He was this year's Mr. Benedictine. Great kid. I had the pleasure of coaching him during football, and I told a story that night that I kind of want to share with you guys about just who Billy is. So Billy's junior year, he was a punter for us. His junior year, he was neck and neck with NDCL's punter for the longest average in the league in the NCL. So every week we were one Monday when the stats came out, we were looking at it, trying to figure out where you matching up, how last game, how'd you do, how'd he do. So at the end of the season, the last game, we were going into the playoffs that year. So the Monday of the playoff week, we saw the stats that came out, and he comes up and he says, Coach, he got me by, 3/10 of a yard. He beat me by 3/10 of a yard. And I was like, man, what are you going to do? He looked at me right in the eyes and said, it'll never happen again. And that next year, who was the leader in the league? It was Billy Bolke. That was the type of guy he was, and just from that point on, when he, even once the season ended, he was still going to work. As a baseball player too, he was a catcher on our baseball team. Those guys went down to, they were district champions, and they went down to the regional semis, and it was rough to see, but great to see how those guys played this year, man. They had a senior-led team. They were really great. Great leaders, and it's something awesome for those guys that are under them to look up to. A lot of guys that got moved up and saw them play in the postseason. So, it's something that we can just use to move forward so that we can continue, the great play that we've had this past year. And then we had Stag Night last night. There was a lot of guys there. I heard nothing but positive reviews. A lot of guys were having fun. We had great weather, so that always makes people a little bit more happier. So we had a really good time, you know, and some of the things that I was, you know, hearing from some of those alums was that, you know, they really wanted, you know, some of their classmates that haven't been around in a while, you know, to come back for those things. So, you know, just one thing I just ask you guys, you know, if there's a time you change information or anything like that, just please give us a call, you know, update it, you know, so that we can stay in contact, you know, through the years, and we can continue to stay in contact with your classmates so that when we have, you know, different events, we can get, you know, larger groups of you know, involved. Another thing that I want to talk about is the Bengal Class Challenge. You know, so this is something new that we're implementing. It just started recently, you know, and it's to raise funds for our kids, you know, and what it is, it's a class challenge between all Benedictine classes, and it's not about how much you give, you know, it's not about the amount that you give, anything like that. It's based on participation per class. You know, so you know the highest class, the class with the highest participation, we're going to make a trophy, and it's going to be right outside of the main office, you know, for everyone to see. You know, kind of a prideful thing. You know, so if you want to come back and take a picture with it, something like that, you're more than welcome to. But that's one of the things that we want to implement to one. Obviously raise funds for our students, but the second is to keep guys participated and involved with the school and things like that.
Brian, could you start with the class of 1960?
Yeah.
You say I can't hear.
Yeah, so if you know, there's ever a time that you want to come back to the school, we have career day, but even beyond career day, we have other times where people that alums or friends of Benedictine come in and they speak to classes in different groups. We had people that came in and spoke to the senior class. We've had people that have come to speak to business classes and things like that, you know. So if there's something that you'd like to, information or experiences you'd like to give to our young men, please, you know, please come back and do that. They hear our voices all the time, you know. It's kind of hard to keep listening to the same tone. So if you can, please come back and share with those guys how to be a man of Benedictine.
I've got the guy just for...
Yeah, who's that?
Before your time.
Okay.
It's in our time. But look at one of our 1958 champions, Stan Zurich, with the Browns.
Oh, I was going to ask him what's coming to see you.
And I'm telling you, if you want to mix, bring this guy back in too. He's got experience. He could tell you stories from who knows when.
Okay.
But I'm telling you, Brian, that's our champion. So let's get Stan a hand for our champion. That's right. So, in other words, you got the young, but bring in the old pros and let them come and talk and experience with the young ones. Give this experience, my God, he could tell you stories that with Jim Brown and everything. So Stan,
Bob,
you're up.
all techniques are all changed. Everything.
But techniques have changed, but the philosophy stay the same.
Just tackle, that's all.
Yeah.
But you know, see, this is our time. But you got the experience that's been there with the pros. He's been there. He's got that. He's got those ideas that are so fantastic that he could pass on. And what are you doing sitting here? But I mean, you know, that's what I mean. It's bringing us all back.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's why I say, and I tell Dr. Frank Basu back here, that it's good that we mix, but we understand what you are doing. But don't forget what we did. But we could still give that experience spirit back to you guys.
We would love to have you all come and speak to these kids. You know, they know some of the history, but they don't, you know, obviously I wasn't there during your time, so I can't tell the stories that you can tell. I can only tell the ones that I can tell. So I would love to have you all back to share some of those experiences, share, you know, how Benedictine was during your time. It's still the same, you know, the same core principles that we have. Yeah, it's still the same place, just different faces.
I don't have my celebration dance down yet. So
you know, it's good, and I was going to, Brian, ask Dr. Boston that yes, we have our old retiring group. We have the experience, but it's good that if we could get a bus or something and take us down to the school with the young ones and let, like, Stan give his little spiel and give these guys encouragement of what he went through, because I think it would promote even better. And I think by hearing these experiences encourages more to be better.
I agree.
What do you think, Dr. Basso?
Looks like we have to get a bus.
So, you're up, Stan. You're our guy.
Oh yeah. Start preparing that speech and that stack dance.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Brian. Very much.
Thank you. I was have you received the latest Ora ad Labora? Has it come through yet?
Yes.
All right, good. I just want to make sure it's coming through. Good. All right.
If anyone hasn't, I can take your address and we can get one sent to you this week.
When was the mail?
It should have been mailed last week.
All right.
I've got his address. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, let's move right on. I'll get my arthritis moving here. All right, so we are going to have now a little, you can always hear my big loud voice, but now you're going to hear from John Sullivan and Russell Davis, my other two buddies, of ideas that they have. So they're going to talk about maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and see what you feel about what they're going to say. So Russ and John, it's up to you.
You want to get behind the camera, Russ? Just stand there for a moment.
Who needs the
Take a
camera?
look at the screen.
Is
Is
his face still on?
Hey, I'm a widower, you know, I'm available, and you guys think that, I see you. Young women don't like older guys, but it's not the truth. I went to the library this week, and I asked the male librarian, I said, you got a book for senior guys how to pick up younger women? He sent me to the fiction aisle. I didn't find it, so hopefully it's there. That's there.
Nobody tried to hit on you, right?
A couple of announcements before we kick off. I had talked to Doc Basu and Chris.
Brian.
That's what I said, Brian. Oh, by the way, Bobby's going to be a class spokesman for those of us who don't remember back that far.
I don't even know where I am. So
But I was hopeful of, I've been taking videos for some time, and they're all up on YouTube, but I was hopeful of maybe having a link with the Benedictine website so that there's one place to go to. Anybody want to see the videos all at one place. It ain't going to happen. The website people said it can't be done. So we're going to have to create like a Facebook page, and we have a couple of different names for it. And Bobby's name for that reference will be the same name as you sent on your notices.
Yes.
BHS Men's Gathering Breakfast Social Event.
Well, that's easy.
Too long.
That's a
I
mind
am lobbying for Benedictine ad hoc men's alumni breakfast. It's got the name Benedictine in it, which Bobby's, with all due respect, Bobby yours doesn't. But we'll go with a show of hands. Can I see who is in favor of Bobby's name? Raise your hand. All those in favor of my name, raise their hand.
That's what I named our breakfast group.
It's a draw.
But if you change it to the Facebook, a different name, it may not associate with the breakfast we have here. That's what I said to John and Russ. But I still like to use our name the way we go out in the email because you're all used to it, okay? But if you change it, it may say, oh, this is something different already. So it might get the two groups confused.
Can we postpone this until?
So this is why I keep it.
Should we table this discussion? All right, well.
You gotta go on the circuit first.
Refer to another committee. The new guys, I think I talked to most of you, if I missed anybody. Afterwards, I'll get you on video, and I added to what we're doing right now, the tape. You'll be at the end of the tape. And some guys were here before, Bob Troha. We didn't get you on video. And somebody else came.
You got Frank Bohawk over here for 16.
Oh, that's right.
Okay. Don't run away, Frank.
Don't worry.
And what more?
And is there anybody else?
Oh, and over here, yeah. So we got
Okay, Paul.
Paul Antonelli. Yeah, okay, that's 3 guys. And make sure you don't get away before I get you on tape. Okay, with that, we're kicking off what we hope will become a series. This will be the first in the series. Hey, Sawinski, I got the floor, okay? We hope we have some volunteers to talk about how are we naming this? The Benedictine Trails, the Trails of Benedictine. And Russ has volunteered to speak on the first chapter. Russ was from Our Lady of Mount Carmel. CYO football.
Bloody Corner.
The Sugar Wars were down there. And he graduated with me. He was helped the football teams and other sports teams carry the water back and forth. And rumor had it that he wanted to be a priest. So I have connections with the Vatican. And I called. And I said, what can you tell me about Davis? I heard he wanted to be a priest. So they looked it up and they got back to me and said, yes, he wanted to be a priest, but we found somebody better. Anyhow, Russ Davis, guys. Tales of the Benedictine Trails.
I know you guys don't usually talk, but now's the time.
This you're going to love, and it's a true story. We're talking about our experience at Benedictine when you went to high school. We were all, believe it or not, juvenile delinquents.
Oh,
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. I grew up in the projects on 110th and Woodland, so I was a juvenile delinquent.
You were a thug.
Today they call them thugs. But anyway, it was our senior year, and I think it was the 6th period. We had a gym class, and Joe Rufus was in charge of it, and all of us were out there where the parking lot is today, doing all kinds of exercises and silly things. And then somebody says, hey, let's get out of here. I says, you know, because we got one more class left, which was, I think, the 7th period at that time, which was Vince Francioli taught that one. So he says, yeah, and the weather was nice. It was like late May. So he says, well, we don't have a car. He says, I got a car. Where? Parked on Harvey. Everybody knows where Harvey Street was. Yeah. That's where everybody that wasn't authorized to drive parked their cars. Yeah. So we all went over there. There was a total of 6 of us. We got in the car, and if I remember right, it was a Buick Roadmaster, which was a huge car. So all 6 of us got in, 3 up front, 3 in the back. And there was Joe Canzoni, Jerry Alumni, John Strauss, who played baseball, who was a pitcher, Bill Dombrowski, myself, and the driver. We said to the driver, his name was
He's incognito, right, today?
Kowalski.
Okay.
First, Gary, you should collect some coin for gas.
Yeah, the Roadmaster. Yeah.
Anytime you went to that, you need a quarter here, a quarter there.
But anyway, I says, whose car is this? He says, oh, it's my neighbor's. I said, really? He says, yeah. And Jerry Looney says, I don't know about him, Russ. He says, well, let's go. So we all get in the car, pull down East Boulevard, down the Buckeye, get to 93rd, which is Wood Hill. On the left, we're driving, and we're probably maybe 2 miles from Kinsman, and a cop car was coming the other way. And we were probably going within the speed limit, and all of a sudden, they looked at us like, what are these 6 kids doing in a car? So we probably didn't drive no more than a mile, and all of a sudden, you hear the siren, and then he's got the flashers. And we look back, they're coming after us, and the driver says, hold on, you guys. He takes off. And everybody's telling him, stop, 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 stop. No, So we get to Kinsman, 93rd and Kingsbury, there's a light there. The letters were red. He went right through the light, hung a left. The cops was right on our ass. He hops the curb and we end up in Kingsbury Park. The cops came right over there. They pulled out their guns. You punks, get out of the car. We all got out of the car and they slammed us down on the ground. They searched us all. And they said, this is a stolen car. We said, no, it's just me. It's a stolen car. So the paddy wagon came, searched us all, threw us in the paddy wagon. We go to the police station, if you remember, the 4th District. Was it 130th and Miles or somewhere around there? Sat in there for like 3 or 4 hours. My brother Bobby Davis bailed me out. Everybody got out except the driver because he was responsible. So we all got out of jail. So the next, and then I'm worried. I says, oh boy, I was the water boy for the baseball team. What's Augie Basu going to say? Where's Russ Davis and where's John Strauss, my #1 pitcher? So everybody's talking, and we hope the school doesn't find out about it. You know how that goes. So the next, we all got out of jail except Kowalski. I think he was held over because he was the primary suspect. So the next morning we all go to school, and then here we are in opening class, and I forget who the teacher was. And he called our names off: Davis, Canzoni, Alumni, Strauss, Dombrowski. You have to report to the principal's office, Father Robert. There was no bargain. So we go down there, and he had that mean look on his face. He told us, he says, I'm really disappointed. You guys are not an example of a Catholic high school. He says, how do you feel? Oh, we're sorry, Father. We didn't know. We didn't know it was stolen. But you cut class too. Well, we're sorry about that too. I'm going to give you 2 weeks with Father James and study.
Purgatory.
Yeah.
You're going to jail.
I said, Father, is it okay if we say the rosary? So we had to go 2 weeks to study hall with Father James. You know, 500 times, you know. And then we had to report to him when we walked into study hall to make sure that we were there. So we did the 2 weeks. So then we go to class the next day, and everybody says, Mr. Francho, that was our next class, the 7th period. He went down the roster. Where's Davis? Where's Canzoni? Where's Alumni? Where's Strauss? You guys know where they are? Nobody really knew where we were. He says, I can't believe they would all cut class. Well, we did. So that's my experience at Benedictine with juvenile delinquents.
And Kowalski?
But we were innocent.
And what happened to Kowalski?
Oh, he got suspended from Benedictine. Yeah, he did.
He didn't make it.
He didn't make it.
Back in our day, with your dad. Ball game.
Did he grab the
You guys went on to college, the upper class. Us little bimbos down here having a party.